Docks Marine opens 7 days a week from 8 to 5. Sales, rental, service, all in one place. It's at Docks Marine, 5803 Eichard Ridge Road.
Hello and welcome. This is the WHKY News for Monday, September 9. I'm Ralph Mangum. The WHKY News is on over-the-air TV on channel 14.2, Compass Cable in Morganton on channel 142, and we are also online at WHKY.com and on our YouTube channel. In today's top stories, 58-year-old Robert Ford Dale Jr., 35-year-old Rocky Lee Dale, and 50-year-old Laurie Knight Stevens, all of the same address on Pax Hill Road in Morganton, have been arrested by Burke County Sheriff's officers. All three suspects were charged with felony counts of concealment of death and disturbing human remains. Robert Dale was also charged with a felony probation violation. On August 30th, the Sheriff's office responded to the area of Corpening Bridge Road near the canoe access in reference to a death investigation. A group of individuals kayaking on Johns River said that they found human remains near the Corpening Bridge. Further investigation led to the execution of a search warrant at an address on Pax Hill Road. As a result of that search, charges were filed against all three suspects. Robert Dale was taken to the Burke County Jail under a $135,000 secured bond. Rocky Dale was jailed under no bond, and Stevens received a $75,000 secured bond. All three suspects were scheduled to appear in district court today. The investigation is ongoing. Additional charges are expected. A man was killed in a crash in Caldwell County. The deceased is 23-year-old Zachary Caden Hatton of Lenoir. At about 4:10 a.m. Sunday, the North Carolina State Highway Patrol responded to Blue Creek Road near Grandin Road. A 2018 Dodge Ram 2500 was traveling west on Blue Creek Road when the driver lost control, crossed the center line, drove off the left side of the road and struck a tree. The driver, Zachary Caden Hatton, passed away at the scene. The initial investigation does not indicate speed or alcohol to be contributing circumstances in the collision. During the on-scene investigation, Blue Creek Road was closed in the area for approximately 3 hours. Our condolences to Mr. Hatton's family and loved ones. WHKY's Rob Eastwood has a report on activity late last week that will have an effect on our ballots in the 2024 general election.
The State Board of Elections has appealed Friday's order by the North Carolina Court of Appeals, which required election officials to remove Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name from 2024 general election ballots and print new ones. The appeal was filed with the North Carolina Supreme Court Friday afternoon. As the Supreme Court was considering the appeal, State Board staff was working through the weekend to begin the process of coding new ballots without Kennedy's name and providing proofs of the new ballots to county boards of elections for review. There are 2,348 different ballot styles statewide for the 2024 general election. More than 2.9 million ballots had already been printed before the order by the Court of Appeals. The State Board asked the Supreme Court for an expedited decision so counties will not have to spend additional money preparing and printing new ballots if the State Board is successful in its appeal. In North Carolina, county boards of elections are responsible for ballot-related costs. In an email to county election directors Friday evening, Karen Brinson Bell, the state elections director, asked counties to work hard to ensure ballots will be ready to go out to absentee voters no later than September 21st, the federal deadline to send absentee ballots in a presidential election. Voting system and ballot printing vendors have indicated that it may take an additional 12 to 13 days to carry out the reprinting of the ballots. If it's determined these tasks cannot be completed by September 21st, the state may request a waiver to the federal deadline. Voters who have already requested a ballot for the 2024 general election do not need to request a new one. The absentee ballot request deadline is 5 p.m. Tuesday, October 29th. You can get much more on this by going to this story at our website, WHKY.com. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
Thank you, Rob. The Alexander County Board of Commissioners was set to meet this evening at 6 p.m. The meeting was scheduled to be held in the Commissioners' meeting room in the CVCC Alexander Center. That's 345 Industrial Boulevard in Taylorsville. The board was expected to hold a public hearing on a public transportation program grant, another public hearing involving an H&E Estates rezoning case presented by planner Amy Bucknam, and the consideration of a resolution supporting multi-campus funding for the CVCC Alexander Center presented by Commissioner Marty Pinnell. The board was also slated to hear an announcement regarding the downtown Taylorsville Historic District presented by Business Development Manager Connie Kincaid. County Manager Todd Herms was expected to discuss Budget Ordinance Amendment Number 12. A consent agenda was included in today's meeting, as was a Consolidated Human Services Board meeting. In closed session, the board was set to discuss economic development along with contractual and personnel matters. Appalachian State University has announced the launch of the Hickory Leadership Forum with a focus on leading with compassion. Hosted on the university's Hickory campus, the four-part series aims to connect current and emerging leaders in the local community through panel discussions exploring what it means to lead with compassion. App State students, faculty, staff, and community members are invited to attend the free events, but registration is required. A link to register is posted at WHKY.com. The first panel discussion in the series will convene local business and corporate leaders and will be held in the App State Hickory campus atrium on Monday, September 16th from 6 to 7 p.m. with a networking reception to follow. Future panel discussions will feature leaders in education, that's October 21st, healthcare on February 17th, 2025, and community and civic initiatives, that's March 24th of next year. The event is sponsored by the Chancellor's Innovation Scholars Program in partnership with the Art of Compassion, a Hickory-based community initiative whose mission is to inspire and promote compassion, kindness, and love for others through education, arts, and entertainment. A list of the panelists scheduled to participate is posted at WHKY.com. Ariana is off today, but Rob and I have your Monday crime report. Rob has a number of Catawba County arrests, and I have more from Catawba, as well as an Alexander County arrest and several from Caldwell. It's a busy day in local sports, where Jason Savage reports on Lenoir's season opening victory, plus a whole lot more. In Community Focus, Rob has more from the Board of Elections, and I have some road construction news from Iredell, plus news from the Caldwell NAACP. Sunny with highs in the upper 70s today. We'll be back in the 80s for a couple days and then in the 70s for the rest of the week, with a good chance of rain arriving Thursday or Friday and continuing through the weekend. Nighttime lows will be in the 50s tonight and tomorrow night, and then in the 60s after that. I'm Ralph Mangum. You are watching the WHKY News.